Today is Friday. It's the 24th day of February 2017, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Farner.
And Pat, it's the end of the week already.
It is.
February is over next Tuesday, and then we start a brand new month. The month of March begins next Wednesday. Time is just moving on very quickly. The weather is, how would you describe it?
It is beautiful.
Amazing. It is beautiful weather. We've got one day coming up soon that will be cooler than, it won't get it out of the, I don't even know if it's going to get into the 60s, but it's going to be cooler than it has been, but then we snap right back into the 70s again. This is just unbelievable weather for February, March, February being the coldest month for Wayne County, but it certainly has not been this year. We're at near record-breaking temperatures. Today we're going to be near a record-breaking temperature of, going to be near 80 today, if not above 80. Which is unbelievable here, the 24th of February, 2017.
Let's don't talk too soon, Doug.
Oh, I know, it could happen, anything could happen, and it could snap or change at any time. So just enjoy it while you can,
That's
right? That's right. That's exactly right. So let's say, I wouldn't be at all surprised if people are headed to the coast this weekend, because it's really going to be nice this weekend. All right, there's going to be a fishing tournament coming up, a 2017 Shad Fishing Tournament. What's going on?
It is. It is brought to you by Easy Bait and Tackle.
Right.
It will be Saturday, March the 18th, from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's $20 for an entry fee.
And it's sponsored by?
The Easy Bait and Tackle.
Easy Bait and Tackle.
That's where you can register at.
That's right. Highway 117 South.
I was trying to get a number, but I don't see the number.
No, there's no number here. Just go by there and register. It doesn't take us a minute.
Just run right by Easy Bait and Tackle, run in, register, run out,
and get
your fishing gear together.
Right.
Be prepared.
That's what. Be prepared
for Saturday, March 18th.
That's right. And there you go. And take the youngins.
Yes, the kids will enjoy it.
They love it.
Just as much as the adults.
And everybody wins. And it's well, I say everybody wins, but it's a fishing tournament. The children love this, and Gary is adamant about involving children and teaching them how to fish, and there you go.
Yes,
anyway.
And you have to have it in. You weigh your fish by 4 o'clock.
Right. That's when everything starts and then the prizes are awarded. But it's March 18th is the date on that. Look up Easy Bait and Tackle. They're on Highway 117 South, just before you get to the Neuse River Bridge. They're on the right there, going south. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh boy, Top Soccer is coming back to Wayne County. Top Soccer in northern Wayne County. The goal is to provide soccer opportunities for young athletes with physical and or mental disabilities. Prior soccer experience not necessary. You don't have to know. If your child uses a wheelchair, if your child uses braces or uses crutches, or has a physical or a mental disability, they're more than welcome to attend and play. This is something that youngsters have a ball doing. They enjoy this, they love this, they have a good time. If you're interested, you can email, or better yet, just call. Here's a phone number, 919-584-2998, 584-2998. You can also register at Herman Park Center or at the City of Goldsboro website, GoldsboroParksandRec.com. Goldsboro Parks and Rec, that's REC.com. Volunteers interested in being part of the program are also welcome to send their information. That would be your name, your age, your field of interest, and everything is free. The event is free. Contact now. Limited registrations are available. Visit the Facebook page to learn more, and the Facebook page is, I'm looking, Top Soccer of Goldsboro. Top Soccer of Goldsboro. I knew I'd find it. That's it right there, if you want to know more about it. And it is a ball. They have a ball doing this. So much fun. Again, Top Soccer, this is going to be coming up March 30th is the date on that. The end of March, March 30th. Near the end of March. On April 1st.
That's April Fool's.
It is April Fool's. Yes. But you'll benefit on April Fool's Day at the Special Olympics Yard Sale fundraiser. That's on April 1st from 8 until 1. And if you want to sell something at this event, you can rent a table for $10. And that space that you're renting for $10, That is really inexpensive. You can rent that space for $10, and they're even going to let you have or use an 8-foot table. They'll let you use it. You can't have it. But the sale will be held at Herman Park Center. You must register as a seller no later than the end of March, March 28th. March 28th. All proceeds go to the Special Olympics Athlete Council Club. Okay? Now, the adult jazz class gets underway.
Are you jazzing?
We're jazzing. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. March 8th through April 12th. That's 6 weeks. It only costs you $35 for 6 weeks. $35 for 6 weeks. Register at Herman Park Center. Starts at 7:30 p.m., goes till 8:30 p.m. It's only an hour. It's an adult jazz class, March 8th to April 12th, $35, 739-7492. And that's the correct number. Counseling for women, veterans. Counseling for women's veterans. Tell us about that.
It is held on the second Wednesdays of the month, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Goldsboro Veteran Service Office. Get together and discuss readjustment issues, become more educated about PTSD, learn how to work with family members who might not understand, and learn that you are not alone.
That's right. All right, second Wednesday of each month. And if you have any questions about that, call the Veteran Services Office. And that number is on our website, waynegov.com, right?
Yes.
Because I don't have it right here in front of me. Coming up, Wayne County government and the City of Goldsboro City Council will honor Peggy Seegers. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because the Peggy Seegers Senior Center on East Ash Street was named after Peggy Seegers. There you go. This is going to happen on March 5th at the Peggy Seegers Senior Center at 2001 East Ash. It will begin at 2 p.m. The celebration itself will go on until 4, but the presentation will begin at 3 p.m. We're going to go to our interview now. We'll do that now, and we'll be back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today we're visited from the University of Mount Olive by Dr. Franklin Gross. And Franklin, it's good to see you.
Great to see you, Wayne.
Glad you're here. Thanks for coming back. Now, you're in the music department.
Yes, sir.
At University of Mount Olive. So what brings you to us today?
Well, today I'd like to tell you a little bit about our March events,
okay,
which might not be as numerous a number as our April events, but there's a couple of good ones. Before I get into that, I just want to mention some of the great events that we've had on our campus in the last several weeks and months. We welcomed Alfonso Lopez from Venezuela. Right. He is a concert violinist, and he just tore the roof off in late January. Wow. And we all felt like we were in the presence of one of the greatest violinists in the world.
Really?
It was just fabulous. So he started off our concert series in January. And just the other night, on February 16th, we heard Tony Canty, who is a singer from Gainesville that I think explored every musical style under the sun.
Gainesville, Georgia?
Gainesville, Florida.
Florida, I mean.
That's right. Yeah, there are a few, right?
Yeah, there's a couple.
He came from Gainesville, Florida, and he brought an accompanist that was a phenomenal composer and did some of his own jazz arrangements that evening, too. So this gives you an idea of the caliber of talent that we like to bring in, and the variety that we like to provide for our audience. So coming up in March, we have Dr. Alan Armstrong on our music faculty, who will be doing a faculty recital on March 16th. Dr. Armstrong is a Renaissance man. He plays just about every instrument under the sun.
Including bagpipe.
That's right, including bagpipe. And I was hoping he might do something like that on his recital, but it looks as though he'll focus on strings.
Okay.
He'll do an octet. And he'll be in this piece, and it's by Felix Mendelssohn. And according to him, it's one of the most difficult pieces for a string ensemble
I read about that
has ever been written.
It's Octet Opus 20, I believe. Yeah, okay.
And he'll also do some original publications of hymns that he has published, arrangements of his favorites. And if you know Dr. Armstrong, you know that it's going to be good. He's a church music minister. He's a composer and an arranger. And I think all of his musical experience is infused to everything that he arranges or writes. So I'm just chomping at the bit to see what he brings to us that night. We're also celebrating his 21st year of teaching here at University of Mount Olive.
Oh, wow.
So one other thing I wanted to couple in line with that is April 1st. Hate to jump into April because Dr. Ford will tell you a little bit more about the April events, but shortly after his faculty recital, Free Spirit will do a concert on April 1st. Saturday night, the first day in April, and Dr. Armstrong is the director of that group, and they just have a phenomenal blend and sound. And so if you love Christian contemporary music, or frankly, choral music of all kinds, Free Spirit is sure to please.
They incorporated, of course, a lot of harmony, the contemporary Christian music.
They do, and they all hold microphones, and the sound they get is crystal clear. Sometimes when you've got 8 microphones on a stage to 15 microphones, his group fluctuates, but right now there's approximately 14 members. It can be distorted, the sound can be not mixed well, but again, Dr. Armstrong knows his stuff, so he's back there at the module just making sure that the mix is perfect.
Wow.
When Free Spirit sang at our Prism concert, which was just a couple weeks before Alfonso Lopez, Free Spirit closed the performance and just blew us away.
Wow.
And from the moment they hit their first note, it just moves your heart. You want to move, you want to say amen, and frankly, you're allowed to say amen at a concert like that.
Are you really?
Because it functions kind of like a performance, but it's really also a service.
Yeah.
And so a student might give a testimony as well. As you know, we're a private faith-based institution.
Yes, you
so
are.
this kind of sharing is something that we welcome on our campus.
All right. Well, there's always a lot going on at the University of Mount Olive. But again, in March, coming up, okay, give me some dates again.
Sure. March 16th,
16th.
will be a Thursday night, smack dab in the middle of March. That's Dr. Armstrong's faculty recital.
Right.
And that'll be 7:30 in our historic Assembly Hall.
Yes.
The address is 207 Wooten Street, W-O-O-T-E-N Street. And it's right by Mount Olive Middle School. So it's right in the heart of town. Anyone who's been to Mount Olive knows it's not that big. And if you get lost, just ask a stranger where you are, and they'll point you in the right direction. All of our performances are free. So the March 16th faculty recital will be free and open to the public. And the Free Spirit performance on April 1st will similarly be free and open to the public, also in Assembly Hall.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and the Assembly Hall is a beautiful, beautiful building, and it's just refurbished to the point that's just it's immaculate.
That's right.
The audionics in there, the sound is just perfect.
Right. The sound man or woman barely has to do anything back
That's
there
right,
because the sound just really carries. It's a perfect blend of a performance space that, like you say, sounds phenomenal.
It does.
But it's also intimate. You don't feel like you're 500 feet from the people who are performing. They're up close. The stage is a little elevated, but they're right there. And this is the performance space that we've come to just treasure. Leonard Moore and I, Leonard Moore is also on faculty at University of Mount Olive, teaches English and African American literature courses, and we'll be performing next year in Assembly Hall, and we can't wait to bring poetry and music and art together. So that's a glimpse of something that you might look forward to for the fall, but we've still got a long way to go. As you'll hear from Dr. Ford in March, April is just stacked with events as well. So we'll keep it one at a time.
That is exciting. Now, if anyone wants information about this, can they go online to UMO?
Absolutely. If you go to umo.edu and go to the bottom of that page and click on the calendar link, it'll take you to a page in which you can see a month view of, for instance, March or February, April, whatever month you're in. And then if you just click the spring events link, that will take you to this fancy schmancy spring mailer that we mail out to people. So you can give me a call at 658-7166 if you'd like to be placed on our mailing list. But if you just want to see our spring events in full, feel free to go to umo.edu, click the calendar link at the bottom of the page, and then click that spring events link, and then you'll see everything.
Excellent. Looking forward to all that. And I know Dr. Armstrong's going to do a great job. He's just a phenomenal guy and so talented.
He really is.
He really is. He's great.
We often go to see him play in the Wilson Symphony on the cello with our music club. So he'll be doing a lot of cello playing that night, and I'm just hoping he'll do an encore on bagpipe or piano or something like that, but I don't want to speak too soon.
But I understand. You mentioned the strings, the octet, Mendelssohn's octet. He'll be incorporating not only violins but viola and cello as well.
Right. There'll be 8 players on stage, and so they won't be set up quite like a string quartet where they're facing each other. It'll be more like a semicircle. And the challenge is that all these musicians have to listen to each other, but we'll get to see the leadership dynamics too. Oftentimes it's that first violinist that is, you almost think they have a cold because they're sniffling the whole time. But they're bringing everybody in. As we know, you have to breathe with music. And that's one of the things I like to watch when I look at a string quartet or an octet is how are they interacting, who's the leader, and how are they breathing together. With strings, sometimes the sound takes a moment to really hit you. On piano, it'll hit you right away. On percussion, it'll hit you right away. But I'm looking forward to hearing some of those pianos, which in Italian means soft, as they come in soft and then work toward forte, meaning loud in Italian. And you just get a wide variety of dynamic range in any string piece. By the time Mendelssohn was composing, he was exploring all of those dynamic ranges, those volume ranges. Back in the Baroque era, it was kind of either soft or loud, but Mendelssohn will give us some mediums, some really loud, and so the depth of expression really grows as you get into the late classical and early romantic era.
Wow. And this is March 16th.
That's right.
At the 207 Wooten Street.
207 Wooten Street at 7:30.
7:30.
And we hope you all will join us. It's
free of charge.
Free of charge, and this is world-class talent featuring Dr. Alan Armstrong.
Dr. Franklin Groves. Franklin, thank you again.
Thank you to WGTV, and thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, sir.
A joy to be here.
This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. Friday. Oh, boy. I love Friday. Yeah, got a great weekend coming up. Hope you're able to get out and do something. Anything, right?
Yes.
Next week is Severe Weather Preparedness Week.
And I believe it.
You know what?
The way the weather has been, I believe it.
Exactly. But they do this every year. The week of, well, every year will be March 5th. This will be the first Sunday through the first full week of the month, March 5th through March 11th, the Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Now, there will be a tornado drill on Wednesday of next week. That will be the 8th. Make note of this now, because you're going to hear a lot of horns, you're going to hear a lot of whistles, you're going to hear a lot of activity about a tornado drill. That will be on March 8th at 9:30 in the morning. 9:30 in the morning. Direct any questions about Severe Weather Preparedness Week or the tornado drill to Nick Petro. You know, we had Nick on TV with us here last year, and we're going to invite him back to Goldsboro and talk to him again. But he is the warning coordination meteorologist, Nick Petro. But the statewide tornado drill will occur Wednesday, March 8th at 9:30 in the morning. Every school, every business, every workplace, and every family across the state is strongly encouraged to participate in this drill. Now, how do you participate? Have a plan. Have a plan. Now, there's all kinds of information available on the internet about what to do during a tornado. If you don't know what to do, time comes that if there's a tornado in the area, if you don't know what to do, you are endangering your life and the life of your family. Not to put any kind of scare into anybody, but if you know what to do, you don't panic. So do a little studying, do a little research on this. It's just good to know what to do if you're faced in that situation with a tornadic winds, tornadic activity in the area. Just know what to do. That's all you have to do. And see, that way you don't panic, you don't get nervous about it, you just know what to do, and your family is so much safer and better off if you do the right thing. Okay? Study that. And remember, at 9:30 next Wednesday. Rabies.
You have them?
I do have the rabies announcement here thing. Vaccinations. The rabies vaccination is going to be taking place the 1st of April and the 8th of April. Those are Saturdays. April 1, a morning and an afternoon event. The morning is at Eastern Wayne at 8 o'clock. The afternoon is at Southern Wayne High School at 1 o'clock. North and then south, and then Wayne County. And then the following Saturday, it reverses. And they'll be in the south in the morning of the 8th, and in the northern part of the county, the afternoon of the 8th. But on Saturday, April 1st, Eastern Wayne High School at 11 o'clock, only goes till, at 8 o'clock, I'm sorry, only goes 3 hours, 8 till 11, and Southern Wayne High School, 1 to 3. $5. That's all it costs. They've reduced the price on that. They've cut it in half. $5. Now, what is special about today? Do you know what is special about today?
I can guess.
Oh, you can't guess. That's not, you can't, Can you guess? Okay, what?
Wayne Alley.
No, wait a minute now. Today's the 24th, and Wayne Alley is not. Today, I mentioned this yesterday, but today is Forget-Me-Not Day. Forget-Me-Not. I forgot, and I mentioned it yesterday. See, right there, it says Forget-Me-Not Day. All right? And they're encouraging us to remind you to support the Girl Scouts by buying Girl Scout cookies. They're only, how much are they? $4 a box?
$4 a box.
$4 a box. All right. Girl Scout cookies. Today is Women in Blue Jeans Day. That's good. Today is World Bartender Day. Today is International Sword...
No.
Huh? Yes. Today is International Sword Swallowers Day. Some cut-up wrote that, right?
That's actually Saturday.
Oh, yeah. That is Saturday. Never mind. But practice. Okay, don't. Trivia question. I have a trivia question right here. Today's trivia question. The category is the comics. Better yet, comic books. There's a difference between the comics and comic books. Today's category is comic books. This also applies to television as well. Tell me the alter ego of Bruce Banner. Who is Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner was a person, but he was also somebody else.
Hint.
Okay.
I know it. We can't get no hints.
Well, if I gave you a hint, I'd give it away. I'm not that smart. Okay, we'll be back in just a moment. I'll give you the answer in the next segment of the program. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today we welcome Wayne County Manager George Wood to the studio. Sir, it's an honor. How are you doing?
Thank you. Good to see you, Wayne.
Good to see you as well. The last board meeting went smoothly, and it went rather quickly.
Yeah,
what's going on with that?
Well, there weren't a lot of things on the agenda. It just happens that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you work on things, and the timing is such that you're still working on them, and so they're not quite ready for the board.
Right.
I think the next meeting we'll have a number of key things on there. But you're right, this one was very light.
Well, and I'm not complaining. I mean,
I wasn't either.
Let's touch on a couple of things. I want to talk about the. Do we want to cover the 911 situation?
Yeah, we are in the process of working with an architect to design a new 911 center. There are several reasons for that. One is that the state is now requiring that every county have a secondary 911 center. They call them PSAPs, Public Safety Answering Point.
Okay.
So if you hear the phrase PSAP, that's a 911 center. And so they're requiring now that we have a backup one. So we would need to have a new one and have our old one become the backup. That's our plan. But the real reason we're going forward with it is we're kind of landlocked. I guess you call it building locked. We are in the Jeffers building. Mm-hmm. We have about 6 seats in there for telecommunicators. And we've looked at whether we can expand it. It's not possible. The architect looked at that first to see if we could do that. But our problem is the call volume continues to go up coming through the center, and we can't get any more people in there. We can't get the consoles physically in the room. So we had a study done on that. They documented what we need now, but just as importantly, what's the growth trend on the call volume? Because everything is based on how many calls do we receive and do we have to deal with.
Right.
So when they did that, we really should have about 2 more people around the clock right now. So the only way we can address that is to have a new center. And that's what we've been working on over the past roughly year. And the architect has come back recently with a schematic design on that. We approved that. The board approved it at the first meeting in February. The only other issue remaining at that time, Wayne, was what wind speed design were we going to use. The building code requires a minimum of 110. Some places use 130 because this is a a high priority building, and it has to stay there. I mean,
Yeah,
it is the
and
guts of what we need to do.
We're also prone to pretty
Yeah,
bad storms in this
that's
area.
right. You
high
know, we've
winds
got
and such.
hurricanes and tornadoes. So, and then FEMA actually recommends 200 miles per hour. Our facilities committee met, discussed everything, and we felt like 130 was reasonable.
The higher you go, the more expensive it is.
It is, and that's the real issue, because you are hardening the building more in terms of the walls, the roof, and some of the windows. So yeah, it can be from 110 to 200 was over $400,000 difference.
Oh, wow.
So from 110 to 130 was about 180 more,
Yeah.
and that's what we decided to do. So that decision will come before the Board of Commissioners at the first meeting in March. Once they vote on that, we'll make the architect aware of that. But he's already continuing to work on the plan. He just said he needed a decision on that within about a month. So that'll meet that criteria for him. Again, we agreed on the floor plan, as you know. The council did, or the commission did. So everything should be ready now to move forward with that project. We hope to have everything fully designed late summer, early fall, and then get that out for bid.
We saw the plan. The plan looks really good.
Yeah.
And also the plan is to perhaps add 2 more operators.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What about future expansion beyond that?
Well, the telecommunications room is designed to handle 17.
Oh.
Because this is the way to look at this is a 40-year to 50-year building.
Right.
So you build the space, but you don't buy all the equipment. All that equipment is very expensive. All the wiring is in the floor, and it has a sunken floor with all of the wiring in it, and then we have the tiles that you can just pop up and easily access everything. So we can add or reconfigure the consoles any way we want to, and all the wiring will be there.
That's nice.
So you do that. It's built for 17. Now 1 or 2 of those initially will be for training. So it won't be a full-time telecommunicator on that. But immediately we'll need to go to 8, and then probably 1 for the training. So when we first move in, we'll probably be at 9, maybe 10.
Okay.
But we'll be able to go to 17, which would mean we could handle almost, it would be well over the 6 that we have now. And then in addition, next door, it's just separated by a wall, it's the same flooring concept and everything else. We'll have the Emergency Operations Center. And this is where the key people, both public and private, who handle emergencies go to. For instance, when we had the hurricane, we activate the Emergency Operations Center. Those people come in. For instance, we'll have a representative from North Carolina DOT. We'll have somebody from City PD, City Manager's Office, my office, all the various entities, the Sheriff's Office, EMS, all of the responders who are dealing with the situation there. And we also have places for the electric utilities, which are private companies, but again, they're such a critical infrastructure. We need them there so that we've got somebody anything we need to find out from them, we can go to that person and they get the information for us.
So that will actually be set up in the
yeah,
in
it'll
the
be set
911
up in
center.
the 911 center.
That is great.
And the other advantage of that is that the way we're designing the building, with the sunken floor on that, we can actually later on, 25 years or whatever down the road, if we are outgrowing the other one, with that done, you can add another 6 consoles to that. So the total would actually be not 17, but 23. So we feel like with the growth trends that we're estimating and everything, that this should cover the 40 or 50 years we'll be in the building. And the way we designed it is then if they ever moved into the EOC as part of the telecommunications, then we can build a new EOC addition right next to it.
Oh, wow.
So all of that's been pre-planned.
Where is this located?
It's going to be behind our facility services operation. We've got some acreage back there.
Okay.
Back behind the animal shelter.
Right. Okay. Out off Corporate Drive, I believe.
That's right.
Off Wayne Memorial Drive.
That's right. And we've checked that for making sure it's high enough ground.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the things obviously we looked at, the best proof is in a major storm. So I had Kendall check it during the hurricane. I said, "Tell me
How convenient.
what's happened."
Well, his office is out there too.
Yeah, that's right.
So
And
he wasn't quite as lucky.
the good news is it was dry.
It was dry in that
But
area.
we're
That's
also
good.
going to elevate it some.
Okay.
We're going to bring some fill in and get it up there.
That's good.
But we think everything will be fine there, and the architects do. So we're excited about that. I think it'll be a big improvement. And when they do that, Wayne, you'll recall that we have just approved new software with Spillman Company for the 911 dispatching,
Yes.
emergency medical services, the sheriff's department, as well as the detention centers.
Right.
So all of that is upgraded software. It's all integrated. So for instance, when the 911 dispatches a call, when the sheriff's office takes it, if they have to do a report, an incident report, or then if the incident report also leads to an arrest, you have to have an arrest report. Then if we take them to jail, you have to have a booking into the jail and a booking report. All of that is integrated. And so for the general public, the advantage of that is we don't have to keep doing all of these reports by hand. You don't have to do them, keep populating the same basic information, because once it's in there, we've got a file on that, and it just continues to build on that.
Well, that is nice.
It really
There was
is.
there's a lot of discussion about the cost of this. Now we know it's expensive,
Yeah.
but
It's
the
expensive.
software is expensive.
Its
now.
software is expensive, and the thing is, it's proprietary software. It's designed specifically for those functions. But the other thing is, we were paying maintenance costs and things on the existing software. So actually, some of the cost is offset by what we were already paying.
Right.
So I think we ended up, it'll be about $130,000 more each year. But given what it does, the sheriff's confident that we showed a savings for 1 or 2 people. He's confident he can probably save more than that.
And in fact, you described the software about what it'll do, but it will actually do a lot more than that. In the field, when
Yes.
an officer is calling on a residence for whatever reason,
That's right.
it gives immediate information about who may be inside.
It does, and that's the real benefit of it. For instance, it'll be tied in with outstanding arrest warrants.
Oh, beautiful.
So, you may get a call, let's say, to a domestic dispute between a husband and wife or something. You really don't know what you're walking into, but when you can, plug in the address, it populates who it is, and then it starts looking for what have we got. And so any previous criminal activity, criminal records, things like that, outstanding arrest warrants, and that way the officer, before they knock on that door, have a better understanding of what am I dealing with.
Yeah.
And so that goes to officer safety, which is big.
Thank goodness for that. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, let's move on to the EMS. We have had a lot of growth in EMS here lately.
Right.
People, and in fact, the calls are increasing.
That's right.
Response times are
Yeah.
being looked at. Where
Yeah.
do we stand with that?
We are doing what's called a station location study right now. We're almost through with it. We're working that through our facilities committee right now. And what we're doing is evaluating all of our sites. One of the things that's driven that, Wayne, is the Seven Springs one we leased from the rescue squad down there. It flooded, and so we immediately had to evacuate out of there during the hurricane. And we're not going to go back into that because this is twice that's happened, obviously Floyd and now Matthew. So we're looking at a new location there. We also have some gaps in coverage right now. What you shoot for is to try to have an 8-minute response time to 90% of the population.
Okay.
And we've got some gaps. As y'all know, we put, I think the EMS was put together from a bunch of different rescue squads and things, I believe, in the mid-2000s. So at that time, what was done was, which is the correct thing to do, is they used a lot of the existing stations. What we're doing now with the growth we've had, with losing the Seven Springs stations, we said, let's evaluate all of them and see what we've got. So it's going to come back and tell us we need to relocate a few. We also need to build at least one in the northeastern part of the county. But all of that we'll be dealing with probably in the next 2 to 4 weeks and make some decisions. We are very appreciative to the Elroy Fire Department. They have allowed us to lease part of their bays. And so we have relocated temporarily that Seven Springs station to Elroy's number 2 station, not their main headquarters station, but their number 2. So we appreciate that, but we need to get a permanent home for that. And so once we determine how many we need, we'll nail down the property. In some cases, what we're looking at, we already own it. Others, we may have to go purchase some. Once we get all of that done, then we'll do one contract for however many we need. But I do know that the study is showing we only need to add one station and crew. But that the rest of them already have the crews. It's just the cost of the building. And these are relatively inexpensive buildings, maybe $350,000 each. Added to that is we're going to have 2 or 3 where we add an additional bay, and that is for the non-emergency medical transport.
Oh yes, when that.
Yeah, I think the public remembers that Johnson Ambulance Service went into bankruptcy. I believe it was back late spring, early summer. We had to immediately jump into a large expansion of Wayne Net, which is our non-emergency medical transport division. And we've done that, but in doing that, we had to add some ambulances, and we don't have places literally to put them, to park them at night and keep them out of the cold and that sort of thing. And that makes a difference because you've got certain medicines on there that need to be kept at a certain temperature and all that. So what we're doing is adding to those. We'll add some bays to some of those stations. And those Wayne Net vehicles will then be taken care of. So that's kind of the last piece of this puzzle of what we inherited there.
Now we have not, we don't go into Johnston County, do we? What happened to Johnston County, Johnston Ambulance Service in Johnston County?
No, that's
another, another thing altogether.
And let me clarify that too. Johnston Ambulance Service was actually a private company. They were in 17 counties in North Carolina. So all 17 had to basically do what we did. So it is not the county ambulance service in Johnston County. That's a county-run operation. But we feel like we've done a good job of absorbing that additional volume of calls. I think everybody's been satisfied with how it's gone. I give our people a lot of credit. They came up with a plan on it in less than 24 hours. And then it was solid. We tweaked a few things here and there, but it was a solid plan. We've executed it, and I think that's gone very smoothly. considering how rapidly we had to move on
Had
that.
to move very quickly. Now, the
Yeah.
Johnston County, the Johnston Ambulance Service did operate in Wayne County.
Yeah,
So that business that they had here
went away.
went away.
And what we had to do was basically take over that business.
Right.
They had a number of large convalescent home clients, and then other clients that might need a trip, for instance, to dialysis or something like that. And so we feel like we've got all of that covered now. So there really is no other ambulance service in the county now except our EMS, and our WayneNet is a division of that.
And I understand that, as you mentioned, it's non-emergency transport, so if somebody does have to go to dialysis, then WayneNet is used. However, WayneNet's also a backup for our emergency ambulance service.
That's correct. And that's another reason we want to get them out into these stations, because we can put them at key locations. And that's a good point, because if one of the ambulances is out on call and they don't have a call scheduled, they could take an emergency call. That's right.
Excellent.
And then like in the hurricane, where a lot of these non-emergency calls, the doctors aren't open or things like that, they automatically can fold into our EMS, because they're full paramedic trained people on a fully equipped ambulance. So these folks are just, they're not in an emergency situation, but I guess what you'd call them is medically fragile. It's not, because otherwise if they were going to dialysis or something else, they could take Gateway.
That's true.
And so we do a lot of medical, non-emergency medical appointments and things with Gateway. But if it reaches a certain level where they want to make sure they've got medical attention there en route, then they can use NEMT.
Man, we got everything covered, haven't we?
We pretty much do, yeah.
That's
and,
great.
And Gateway does a great job
Yeah.
in meeting all those needs.
Okay, one more thing I want to ask you about, and that is our fantastic Ag Center, the MRAC,
Yeah.
the Maxwell Regional Agricultural Convention Center, is moving along beautifully.
It really is, and just to remind everybody, you can go on our website, and we have a button right there on the home page, and you can see drone pictures of the whole thing going up. Kevin Johnson from Cooperative Extension does that for us. I don't think there's anybody more excited about the project than Kevin.
he
'cause
is, that's
he's
true.
moving his offices over there. So he takes his drone up there about every 2 or 3 days,
Yeah.
and it does a great job of getting that up for us and getting it on the air. So, but we had a recent meeting with the architect's representative and also the contractor. Everything's on schedule. We're still looking at a March 1 of 18 opening.
Okay.
And they're doing a great job. The walls are going up. Within the next 30 days, they hope to have the walls up and the roof on the office building part, the ag part. And that's where Kevin and his people will be going. So people are really going to see some big changes coming out of the ground now.
That's great. Well, we're all excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great addition to the community.
All right. County Manager George Wood with an update of what's happening in the county. George, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
with us.
Wayne. Appreciate it.
This is Wayne Goldsboro Television on a Friday. Oh, boy.
So excited.
Oh, I'm excited. Woo! I mean, shouldn't you be excited because of Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to work tomorrow.
Well, yeah, you do different work on the weekends, though. Different work. You work all the time, right? But you do different things. Now, some people work because it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Some people will be working in their yard. It's a great time to cut back your pampas grass. You should have already done that. And your monkey grass, or your loriope, you should have already cut that back. It's a great time to be pruning, right?
Yes.
Prune your shrubs and your trees. Don't cut over a third, okay? If you cut that much. Don't cut over that much. Rose bushes should have been cut back. But see, here's the thing that throws me. It's been so warm and everything is blooming out now. Everything's blooming out. And you cut it back in the wintertime when nothing is blooming or budding, which it's not supposed to be. That's the best time to prune and bud, but now everything's already coming out. Anyway.
Well, nature had a different route to go.
I'm not complaining. It's just going to be interesting to see how all this plays out, don't you think? But I love fish. And coming up, April 7th, is the Shriners Fish Fry here in Wayne County. The Wayne County Shriners have 2 fish fries a year, and the Spring Fish Fry is coming up in April. And this fish fry will benefit the Shriners and all of the projects that they have during the year. This particular fish fry, there will be 3 locations where you may purchase fish. One is in Mount Olive in southern Wayne County, Mount Olive on Highway 55, right across from Mount Olive Center. That would be across from the Food Lion and across from the Rose's store right there in Mount Olive. Right next to Robert's Machine Shop. That's one place. The other 2 places is Herman Park Center, where you can eat in. You can eat in, and you can also drive through Herman Park. Now, where you drive through, they have it ready for you. You drive up, you tell them you want 3, 4, or 5 plates, or 2 plates, or 10 plates. They'll have them ready for you. You tell them how many you want, they get them right to you. There's no waiting. You're just in and out. Now, if you're eating in, the line is not always the line. I haven't seen the line long yet, but because they run you through pretty quickly. I mean, you don't run, but you get through the line pretty quickly. Now, you sit down and you eat there, and you have in Herman Park Center, you have iced tea or water with your meal. And the ladies' auxiliary there can fix you right up with some dessert. I think dessert's about $1. But man, is it good. And you talk about a selection of desserts, cakes and pies and all the good stuff right there. It starts at 11 a.m. and goes till 2 p.m. the first time. The second time it starts up again for supper at 4 p.m. and goes to 7 p.m. Oh boy. Oh boy. And is it good? It's whiting. Fried fish, coleslaw, potato salad, and hush puppies. $8. $8 as it is. And I tell you what I like to do. Just go ahead and give them $10. What's $2? In the scheme of things, you'll not miss it. Go ahead and give them $10 and just make it an even 10. Just say, hey, thank you. Thank you for what you do, Shriners. And they do a lot for the Wayne County here. But now this particular one is not a tax-deductible donation. Proceeds for the benefits of the Wayne Shrine Club, and payments are not tax-deductible as charitable contributions. But go ahead and give them $10, and you will not be unhappy about that. They need the money. And if you get 2 plates, that's $20. It's an even $20 bill. There you go. Keeps it mighty simple, mighty easy. That's what I like to do. But if you can't do that, that's okay. They'll understand. $8 is the cost of each plate. April 7th, 3 locations. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Free. What is that? Free.
What's free? It's a free health education seminar that will be held March the 21st
What I said.
at the Goldsboro Family Y.
Didn't I say free?
Way less and live more.
Way less. Way less.
There's 2 sessions. One begins at 12 p.m. and the other at 6 p.m. In the class, you will learn safe ways to drop pounds and feel satisfied. You will also learn 10 tips to weigh less and live more.
Wow. I like that. Okay, this is when?
March the 21st.
March 21st. Oh, they did one before, back last month. Yeah. Well, February, early February. And March 21, that's when spring arrives. Whee!
They were eating for energy then.
Oh, yes. Eating for energy back in February. All right. Coming up May 2nd, change your brain. I do it all the time. Look at that. They printed that sideways. Can you believe that?
They did. They
I'm telling you.
did.
Okay, this too. Okay.
I know, really. Let's talk about Town of Fremont.
Town of Fremont. Oh, Town of Fremont. Yeah, what's coming up?
Town of Fremont has their spring cleanup, which is the week of March the 20th through the 24th. You will take your debris or anything that you want to throw away. There's no restrictions. And you put it on the roadside before Monday morning at 8 a.m. for pickup. They might not come by Monday morning, but it has to be placed out there because if they come by, it's not there, they will not be coming back.
So, if you have dirty springs, there is going to be a spring cleanup.
No restrictions.
What's the date?
The week of March 20th or the 24th.
I knew that. Did I do that?
Yeah.
Dodgeball. Dodgeball. Look at me. I'm still making a mess. Somebody will say something.
That's okay. You're just a messy man.
I am messy. Dodgeball. You ever play dodgeball? That was fun.
Yes.
That was fun. Wednesdays in March, you can play dodgeball. It's $10 per player, and that includes a T-shirt. And most places you buy a T-shirt, it's going to cost you $10 anyway. Anyways, $10 per player, includes a T-shirt. The games all start at 6 p.m., and they will be taking place at Greenwood Middle School in the gymnasium there. Greenwood Middle School. Okay, register at Herman Park Center and then play at Greenwood Middle School, and this will be on March 1, March 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th. It's 5 Wednesdays in March. Dodgeball, Wednesdays in March, $10 per player. And you can register at Herman Park Center. $10. To get more information about this, you call 919-739-7491. 7491. I guess that's it, right?
That's it.
That's it. We got to go. Got to get out of here. Got to vamoose. Got to move it on out. Oh, yeah. Here we go. And we'll be back in here tomorrow, right?
We'll be back Monday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because we're not going to be here tomorrow.
After you give them their trivia answer.
I knew that. Trivia. Hey, category for today. Trivia. Trivia. Oh, yeah. Comics. The question was, who is Bruce Banner? He's known by another name, and he's known by a very popular name other than Bruce Banner. Well, Bruce Banner, turns out, is a fictional character. And if you know a real Bruce Banner, it's not him. This Bruce Banner, when he was upset, when he was angry, oh boy, he would turn into the Incredible Hick. The Incredible Hulk. He was Incredible Hulk is what he was. Dr. Bruce Banner was bitten by a spider or something like that, a spider that had been radiofied. He had, and he turned into the Incredible Hulk. That was Bruce Banner, comic book hero. And that's a look at today's program. Today's the 24th, and it's Friday. Hey, have a great weekend. Do something. Until Monday, please drive carefully and always wear that seatbelt. And until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.